time for Ask a Kid, Ask a Pro, a segment of Beyond the Focus where we can tell what it's like, how it is, and then bring it all to kind of professionals to clear it up. Because you're going to be a professional today here, Reed. He's our little guest today. And because let's face it, sometimes the cutest answers can lead to the clearest conversations, especially when Reed over here, we already talked about how much better he can see than myself. So let's actually talk about what our themes are that we're going to look at today. So I really want to ask you, why do people even have jobs, Reed? And just so everyone knows too, Reed is a guest of one of our team members, Becky Vossler here at the office. So most of you that are listening, or some of you listening, would know who she is. And now you're introduced to Reed. So Reed, let's start from there then. Why do you think that people actually have jobs?
I think it's so that they can get money so that they can go on trips and help people with what they need help with.
All right. And if I were to ask you, what do you think some people need help with money?
Like finding a job, getting money because they don't have a car or something.
Okay. So we need means of transportation.
Yeah.
So we have to work to have money to be able to do fun things, right? So it's not so much about the money, it's about the experiences you get to go on with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And do all the great things. Wonderful. Words of wisdom there. So remember, money is a tool. People that are listening, it is not about the sake of accumulating, because you need to do fun things too. Right?
Good.
Okay. What do you think your mom or dad does in their, let's say, day-to-day at work? Let's talk about what your dad does at work and what your mom does at work.
My dad works for Wolfgang Construction, so he helps. He's like the leader of the job. He tells people what to do and what they're doing wrong, helps people with it. And my mom works here with helping people to know if they can retire or when they can retire or if they can't.
Okay. All right. So both have a different way of providing kind of some passageways or clear vision on what people need to do, right? And that's kind of nice. So your dad's helping people kind of alongside leading what they need to do day to day on their job, mm-hmm. and helping to realign them with things maybe they don't know yet or how to improve their process. And your mom is helping people in a different way, things that they can't really see or touch, nothing that they're working with as far as material-wise goes, but really has their mind and body put together a good program of being able to do some of the things you already mentioned, Reed, with money, of having a car, a vehicle that works, and be able to do some fun things and spend time with kids like you. Look at this little wise one here with us today. Well, let's talk about, what do you think? This is kind of the big thing they ask you, even at school, and your grandparents probably ask you. And I know you're already very wise, but when you grow up, what are some things that you might want to do for a job or a career, or how do you?
I want to work with my dad at his construction business.
Okay. And what makes you want to work there where your dad does?
I like helping people to know what they can do and what they're doing wrong. And I like building stuff. Okay. So you like building things, and is your dad happy and like to talk about work and different things he's doing and working on with construction? It really depends on the day. I get that. But that's nice. You look up to your dad. You want to kind of do what he does and help others. And what kind of things do you like to build? Like birdhouses, benches. Ooh. Anybody need a new birdhouse? This is the one to come to. You know, my grandma and my aunt love birdhouses. We have like 12 right out in this one tree out in their big picture window. That's a lot. And I bet you could build something they've never seen before. Oh, that's excellent. Okay. If you were in charge of our office here, okay, so in our Focus McIntosh and Associates building, you've been in here a few times, in the front and in the back. But if you were actually the one in charge, what rules would you make, or how would you lead the team here? I'd probably make it where you can have breaks whenever you want. You don't have to do your job. You can just do whatever you want. Oh, my goodness. So let's see. Okay. So if people could do whatever they would like to, let's say here, what about if they had a client to come in that they're trying to help them do some paperwork? Or you have to do that. But then after that, you can just do it on your own. Okay. All right. So you still have to do your job, but you can have fun doing your job. We should all have fun, right? Do you have fun doing, even at school? Some fun times? He's like, well, I'm not sure. But we should be trying to make our whatever we're doing day to day, right? Does your mom and dad spend a lot of time at work each day, right?
Yeah.
And you spend a lot of time at school, so we need to find fun in all those things that we do as well, right? Okay. Well, what's more important then? As you already brought up the word having fun, and do you think it's more important to have fun, or to have money that we talked about initially to have some sort of purpose?
I think it would be more important to have money. Because if you don't have money, then you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you don't have a job.
And it's a little bit trickier to have fun.
But you can have fun, but you can have money and still have fun, but you just have to have money.
Okay. All right. And it doesn't have to be a lot, right? So if you can at least afford a home, and maybe you have a vehicle and you have a job and you can pay your bills and feed your family, then you can have a lot of fun still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of fun little things outside. What are some things you think that people could do for fun that really don't cost much money?
Taking a walk, looking at nature.
That's right. Nature changes, especially when we have all the seasons here in Michigan. So there's a lot of things that you can do to have fun, and it doesn't involve a whole lot of money. So how do people know really when it's time, do you think, to stop working? Either, and I wouldn't say like, oh, it's X time of the day, it's time to go home for the day, but how do you think that people should know, I don't need to go to my day-to-day job anymore because now I'm going to retire?
You have to have enough money to where you can plan it all out, to where you can have enough money to feed your family and still have a fun lifetime after that.
Okay. All right. So as long as they have enough to keep doing what they've been doing and saved enough money, right? Then the instrument should be fine there. So Reed's already giving you the advice. If you're not sure if you have enough saved up, well, you might want to reach out to Reed or one of us here at the team to walk through that with you. Well, what would you do if your job was just helping people? Just if your sole job, anywhere you're at, was just helping people, what would you do?
I would try to help as many people as I can before going home.
Okay.
So even if it's past closing time, I would still try to help as many people.
That's right. So whoever was kind of there and that you needed to serve and help at that moment in time, you'd get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. What about if you were the boss? What kind of business would you have if you were tomorrow? You're opening a new business, and what would you kind of run with?
I'd probably start a construction business.
Okay. All right. And what type of construction do you think?
Either building houses to help people, or building, doing stuff for companies that they need to do, like benches and chairs that they need to do before they can open.
Okay. And there's a lot of different companies out there that all have benches and chairs, and people need homes, and a lot of things are going up. Do you have a particular type of, let's say, chair or bench that you think is pretty neat?
I just like the normal bench.
Okay. A normal bench, few people can sit on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you like more of the outdoor or indoor style?
I like the more of like an outdoor style.
Okay. And you're pretty outdoorsy, right?
Yeah.
Spend some time outside. That fresh air is good for the soul, right? It's good for us. What do grown-ups, I shouldn't really say what, but where do grown-ups even get their money from? What are some different sources or places that they can, or their income come from?
People, their boss that makes some money from other companies that they help, or just helping people.
Okay. All right. What about, do you ever have any money that you get for birthdays from friends? I know you just spent some fun at a birthday party of a friend of yours recently, but do you think that they ever, then maybe even your parents get some money from birthdays, or are they too old for that?
I think they're a little too old.
A little too old for that. Okay. What about grandparents? Yeah. How about selling something? Have you guys ever sold something that you've had that maybe you outgrew or your mom or dad didn't need anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe sometimes you could have some money from something you might have spent in the past and you were able to use it, now you outgrew it or something changed. All right, that sounds good. Well, what's the best way to save then, do you think money would be the best way to save money? So we know how people earn money or obtain money by working hard, it sounds like, doing the right thing. But what would we do then next?
Well, what I would do is once I get my paycheck, I'd put like $100 a week into a savings account every week. Then after that, when I can retire and get it out of the bank account, I'll have a lot of money there if I need it for some reason.
Okay, so kind of putting money aside every time you get a paycheck, putting some money that you're saving for later, and then just getting kind of the right wisdom and guidance on how you want to save that, right? So it can grow?
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of time to let that money grow for your retirement. Okay, all right. Well, how much money do you think that you would need to, number one, retire? And then number two, how much money would you need if you, as a child, call it like, oh, they're rich, they're loaded? What would that be?
Like just bring $100 to school.
Okay. $100 bill, or are you going to bring it in 20s or 5s, or what would be the way to go there?
I would either bring a $100 bill just straight or 100 ones.
All right. So it would just look like a lot of money then that way, right?
Yeah.
Or a $100 bill, you're like, oh, I got a $100 bill.
But it's just one.
Yeah. It's just one. So sometimes do you think that people need to be a little careful then about, oh, I have a $100 bill, so it just looks like I have money, but we probably should save some of that, right?
Yeah.
So that maybe the 100 ones, yeah, it might look good, but of that, you could put some of that away to save for later.
Like I would split it 50-50.
All right. Yeah.
50 of it goes away to save, and 50 of it I can spend.
Okay. Well, he seems to have that part worked out. That is really good. We've done the Financial Peace University at church. We've taught some of these courses, and sometimes that's where, just like you said, Reed, you're saving some money, you're spending some money, and then also we want to give some money as well from time to time. So it's kind of this 3-bucket or 3-basket approach. And actually, to the listeners, if you're local, we'd be happy to give them. We have these little red piggy banks here. If you have them, no. So we have these little red piggy banks here, and it's kind of nice. It's a spot to save some money. So that way, like if you're earning an allowance or you have money that you get at birthday or Christmas or from grandparents, you can put some of that saved money in your piggy bank, and then from there it can go either into the bank account or into a growth account, and then that way it's separated from what you're going to spend. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do that. And any watchers or listeners, if they want to stop by the office here, we'll have those available. We'll make sure we give some to Reed and his friends. So what should someone do if they were to run out of money? What would you do if, you had this 100 ones that you took to school, let's say, and now you did whatever you did with these 100 ones. What would you do when you didn't have any more money, or what should grown-ups do?
Maybe start a second job to get a little bit more money. If that's your first job is not doing it, get another job.
Got to work hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people have to be dedicated and willing to put in some effort. That's perfect. Okay, so what does it mean to you if your mom or dad retired? What do you think that looks like?
I think it means that they can get to sleep in a lot and be with me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like you got to work hard so then you can retire to spend time with a lot of other people faster and do all that.
Okay. Put in your time and effort now so that you can work hard now, play when you can, right? And still have fun, and then play hard when you're ready to retire. Okay. What do people do like all day long though? So let's say your mom and dad are retired. They're going to sleep in, you said.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have more time to spend with you. And they're going to have even more fun with you.
Yeah.
But what might they do? What does that look like?
My dad would buy hunting property up north, build a cabin on it, and just sit there, fish, hunt.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know what my mom would do.
Okay. All right. So these are great questions too that we could have with family, right? Good question over dinner or kind of hanging out. Great questions to ask. And how old is too old to work? How old is too old for your parents to work?
83.
83. Okay. 83 years young is the age that Reed says no more working.
Well, 75 between it. 75 or 80.
Okay. All right. So over 75, but under 83, kind of in that age range. Okay. And if we were to kind of talk about as people get more years, I kind of call it more years young sometimes, but as people get older, sometimes they need to see the doctor more often. So what do you think it costs, even if you need to go to the doctor for, let's say, a checkup or for any reason? What might the doctor cost?
Normally, if you're just going there for like a checkup, it'd be like 20 through $40.
Okay.
But if you're going there to get like a vaccine or something, I think it might cost like $100 or something.
Okay.
Just because they got to pay for that medicine to get it.
Pay for the medicine, do more things. And do you think that costs then, let's say the $20 when you go see the physician, is that what mom or dad has to pay with having their healthcare insurance? Or do you think that's maybe the total cost of the whole visit?
I think that's like the total cost of the visit.
Okay. So these are good lessons on when we talk about, gosh, if someone isn't feeling well, or even if they are, we just get a checkup, make sure we're good, play sports, need a sports physical. Then a lot of times people have healthcare and health insurance resources. So then that way, maybe then your parents are only paying $20 for the visit. That visit is still probably $200, $300, $400. I know. So expensive. Yeah, I know. So it's really hard to continue to maintain. That's why people might have to work till 83. They have to pay for their health care, right? So we have to have good insurance, good plans. It costs a lot. Do you know what Medicare is, Reed?
Medicine?
Okay. So great answer. So Medicare is really for folks, naturally speaking, when they're 65. Once people are 65, and sometimes they have it prior to that, but usually when you're 65 years old, you'll be eligible for what's called Medicare. And at that time, it's kind of changes the type of health insurance that you have, and the plan options, and even the cost. So a lot of times you can have a little bit even better coverage, lower cost, but it changes a whole thing. They get a red, white, and blue card. People get discounts on coffee, and seniors call it fun. So they call it a senior discount, but they're really still just young because you haven't worked in like another almost 20 years, right? After that. So Medicare is just a stage that they change over their healthcare programs. And why do you think that older people do go to the doctor more as we get older?
Well, when you're first born, like how I am, still pretty young, your body's still growing, so it's still healthy. But when you're old, it doesn't have to work as hard, and that could cause it to get like germs in there much longer because it's not used to fighting off, like to grow up a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So more things can happen to us as we get older. Do you think that we get hurt more too, or just more sick?
Hurt more.
Hurt more. Okay. All right. We're not as limber and fast like you then, right? Why do older people then decide, like, if as they're getting older, let's say now that they actually are on Medicare, so they're getting older, they're on a different type of health care, maybe seeing the doctor a little bit more, but they have more time on their hands, possibly. Some are working, right? Like you said, still, and some are. So what would happen then if we're going to be talking about how they're spending some of their money or even saving it? So we talked about healthcare now, like any idea what like the stock market does for people?
I don't know. Prices are getting a little too high.
Okay. Prices are getting a little too high. So the stock market is really a way that people can go ahead. So I kind of talked about those 3 piggy banks with you, right? So one of your saved piggy banks, it can kind of be the money that you're spending. Maybe that's sitting in your bank account or some money you keep at home. So it's not really growing it, but you're not spending it either right away. It's not really growing. It's just kind of sitting there until you go buy something. And then the money that you're saving really could be an investment in the stock market, where if you put in some money today,
And naturally, you have a lot of time for you until retirement or until you want to buy a vehicle or go to college later or spending on a new house or creating and developing these benches you want to create.
Mm-hmm.
But if you invest money in what's called the stock market over time, you're hoping that stocks and the indexes will go up so that your maybe $100 that you started with keeps what they call compounding and growing when you didn't even put more money in it. So the nice thing is that if you actually were to save $1 today,
Mm-hmm.
and it just slowly over time had a small interest rate, wouldn't it be nice that dollar today now maybe even in a couple of years is $2, $3, $4, $5, and it just keeps growing for you just because you keep on putting a little bit more in there every time that you're working. So that'd be nice, right? It's not just on your money that's going into there. It's going to be other investment growth from indexes that are doing well. Okay. All right. And why do you think, why do you think, number one, that your money can grow then if it's in the stock market? But number two, even more important is do you know what like a financial advisor does?
Well, I think because money keeps going in the stock market, the business that you went with is kind of helping you out and kind of paying you for like, thank you for choosing us. You get this, and it keeps like growing a little bit.
Okay. And what do you think that the advisor is giving the person that's investing?
Like a little bit of their own money.
Okay. All right. Well, Reed wants to find these kind of advisors that do that, which is great. So what a financial advisor is they really help give different advice and suggestions on how to grow your money, right? So it might say instead of just doing a bank account and saving some money every time that you have, let's say like a job or you do some chores, then actually they're going to help you to pick what type of funds that those stocks are going into based on how long before you want to spend that money. And so instead of them giving you their own money, they're teaching you how to save some of your money and then how effectively see it compound and hopefully grow over time, depending on other variation factors in the market and what's going on in the economy. Okay? All right. So any idea then what is a 401k?
Money?
Yep. Okay. So a lot of times when people work, they save money in what's called a 401k. So it's a way that once people have usually a full-time job and they're above a certain age, they can start putting some of the money that you already talked about saving. It's just a different way to save it. And they have all of these different alphabet soup stock numbers of exchange-traded funds and all sorts of fancy words so that people can watch and see how their money is actually growing. And it's almost sometimes can be like it's supposed to be more like a fun roller coaster ride, not a bad roller coaster ride. But do you like any of those type of rides, like swing sets or roller coasters or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So Reed's going to stay really conservative and safe in his portfolio.
I'm like staying on the ground.
Staying on the ground. Okay.
I only got about a 4-foot fall, not a 400-foot fall.
So then we would, help create some safety for that and reduce your risk exposure. So what should people do with their money then when they're not using it?
Maybe save it and put it somewhere.
Okay.
So that they're not eager to spend it. Because like me, if I have money, I want to spend it.
Okay. So somewhere out of sight where they're not going to get to it right away. And do we want to have it to be able to then steadily kind of grow? So if you put in $4, do you want to see $4 in 5 years from now, or do you want to see that $4 of growth for you? Growth. Okay. All right. So we're going to get some growth. And what's the smartest thing that someone could buy?
Medicine or advice if you could ever buy advice.
Okay. What kind of advice?
Like if you're having trouble deciding something on what to do, you could buy some advice from somebody to ask. And because sometimes you need somebody to tell you what's best.
Yeah. Okay. And that's someone that's going to tell you what's best. Who is that? Who would that normally be for a particular question? But what do you think, Joe?
Well, for me, it's mostly my dad.
Okay. just asking different advice on things that are on your mind and topics. And then we kind of walk through a couple of different choices, and then you can make up your own mind, right? So that's kind of good, because that way all of us as people, we're all good at different things, and we all have knowledge in different areas, or like to learn and have different interests. And then that way, what interests you, you can help people even later on these things, like maybe homes and construction. And someone else might help on something with pets, or like us in financial or healthcare, right? So I think it takes a village. It takes a lot of people to be able to help one another.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wise. Very wise. So do you have any questions for myself or the team, any of us here at McIntosh Associates?
How many clients do you normally see a day?
How many clients do we see a day? Okay, well, we do have a team of 12 here currently, and about half of us see clients on a regular daily basis. So depending on the time of year, we could probably see anywhere from maybe 10 clients a day as a group, all the way up to probably 60 or 70 clients a day, depending on if everyone kind of has a fuller, filled up calendar with the people that and the families that we serve. So it sometimes could be a lot.
Good.
What do you think is a good number for the clients you're seeing a day?
6.
6. Okay. Yeah. Well,
One
I think
one for each person.
all right. Well, and it might be great. Like if your mom sees 6 a day, that would be pretty normal some days. And other days she might visit with 2 or 3 clients, but she might have talked to 50 on the phone. So it just kind of depends. But we do like to serve a lot of different people, which makes it fun too. All right. So if you smiled today at some of these answers from Reed, please leave us a review and share this episode with someone who needs a little clarity. Maybe it could be a grandchild, a friend, or a relative. Share it with laughter too, because Reed said we need to have fun in all that we're doing, and let's make sure that we find it well in your financial journey. If you want to see how your current plan can stack up, then visit taxmichigan.com to get your free retirement tax bill estimate for any plan that you need. But for today's Pro Touch, I'm really thinking that it's these little piggy banks that you can make sure that you provide some advice and some clarity to who you're talking with. So thanks so much again to you, Reed, to our little tiny expert here today, with lots of big laughs, and to our real experts on the clarity. And we really want to, if we can focus on the youngsters in our life, they do really seem to brighten our day. So this was Ask a Kid, Ask a Pro, and this again is on the Beyond the Focus. Stay curious, stay cute, and stay tuned. Until next time, stay focused and keep leading with purpose.